Just because we have Jesus does not mean we should ignore the fact that we need therapy. Just because we have undergone deliverance does not mean we get to bypass psychiatric care and say, okay, I've been set free. None of that stuff matters anymore. I don't need therapy. My son don't need therapy. We healed in Jesus' name. Cool, but sis, you still need to go to therapy. Imagine you have this big wound. Imagine somebody just sliced you open right here, right? And you have this big wound and it became infected. Jesus had to come and take the infection out, take those spirits out, them demons out that was infecting that wound. Whether it had been self-inflicted or inflicted by somebody else, Jesus had to come take all that yucky stuff out so you could heal. Jesus takes the yucky stuff out and then he kind of like patches you up a little bit, put some gauze in there, kind of make sure that it's not affected anymore. And he kind of like hugs you and sends you on your way. But you have to understand that when you get home, you still have to tend to that wound. You got to keep an eye on it. You got to make sure like it doesn't get infected again. You got to put ointment on it. You got to pray over it. You got to just make sure that it's healing, right? And then all scars don't heal at the same speed. So some scars may take longer to heal than others. And even though the infection is out, healing is still taking place. And we have to make sure that we're doing all that we can do on our end to make sure that we are healing, okay, in the areas in which we need healing. And a lot of the times that means we need to go to counseling. We need to go to therapy. When we bypass this step, even though the Lord delivered us and he set us free from these demonic spirits, right? We leave ourselves vulnerable when we leave our wounds open. You know what I'm saying? And we get to a point where it's like, oh, God set me free, but why don't I feel free? And even with that, sometimes, when our wounds fully heal, they leave a big, ugly scar. And sometimes that can be hard. We don't want people to see our scars. Even the Lord helped us heal. We kind of like, we still not 100% over the fact that this scar is still here. It's just a reminder of what you had to go through, to be free. And sometimes that can be touchy, and it doesn't mean that you're not delivered. It doesn't mean that the Lord didn't do a work in you. It means that there's still work to be done. And therapy, counseling, psychiatry, whatever it is that you need, the Lord has it here for a reason, and it can help you deal with the wounds that are still healing, and it can help you deal with the scars that are left behind. Jesus, therapy, and deliverance all work together. And the Lord has anointed people to be in the specific career field to help his anointed, to help his people, okay? So don't be just trying to go to people at church and call it a counselor. No, go seek a licensed professional that has been anointed by God to do what they're doing to help you, okay?